Well, obviously disappointed in the results from this past weekend down in Jacksonville, but saw some good things as we watched film yesterday, and we've got to grow from that. We've got to get better in some areas this week as we approach the Kennesaw State game. But so one thing that we did see is that our guys never quit; they never stopped. You can tell that on the fourth down stop at the goal line. And then moving the ball off the goal line to end the game with the ball. I think there's some positives that you can work off there. We just got to continue to get healthy this week and get ready to go. Kennesaw State's a really challenging team in the fact that they run the option, and they're a triple option, flex bone, double option, quarterback follow type team, and we have to be sound and disciplined on defense. And then their defense has some really good team speed, and they get after you on defense. So excited to be at CG Bank Field and Roy Kidd Stadium for the senior day. We've got a wealth of seniors that'll be going out and being recognized, and those guys have done a lot for our program with the added incentive of potential playoff and conference championship implications in this game. And so, there's a lot of things going on in Richmond this weekend that are important to EKU football, and we've got to have a great week of prep for that. So with that, I'll open it up for any questions.
Coach, at one point, I think it was late in the second quarter, there was a call, and the officials moved the ball one way, then moved it the other way, then moved it back. What was the explanation that you got when they finally figured out where they were going to spot the football?
Well, and I talked to Matt Young, the head of officials, yesterday, and how they enforced the call was correct by the rules of football. Where they were wrong was they should have thrown the flag and stopped the play because the offense was offsides, and they did not do that. They could have stopped it even after they snapped the ball, and they did not. They chose not to do that. So, a face mask, which we had too many of those on Saturday, is a personal foul. So a personal foul you have to enforce whether it's dead ball, whether it's not. And so the issue was the total miscommunication of everything and the lack of the official not doing his job and throwing the flag when he was supposed to. People are going to make mistakes. We understand that. We're not perfect over here at EKU football, but that put 13 seconds back on the clock and gave them 10 extra yards when it didn't have to happen. And so that took it from 14-7. We had to stop them. I understand that. We need to be better on defense to stop them, but who knows if if the 13 seconds aren't on there and the yardage is not there, maybe they don't get the touchdown.
One more question too. Talk about this senior class that you're going to be celebrating on Saturday. Obviously, some of these guys have been around. They've been through COVID. They've been through the portal situation, all these different things. So talk about what they mean to this program and how important it is to celebrate them on Saturday.
Well, it's very important because some of these guys, like your Shane Burks, your Tucker Schroeders, your Matt Jacksons, the list goes on, and you won't see some of those guys out there doing that because they did it last year for whatever reason. But those guys like that are going out and doing those things, they fought through a lot of different times here. I mean, we had conference change. We had, obviously COVID. A lot of their guys they came in with decided to opt out, not go through COVID and opt out of playing and all that stuff. And so the mental toughness and the love for EKU that those guys have is really big and really special for us. But it's ironic that you got two guys here that are one semester guys basically, and that'll be going through senior day. And the influence that both have had on our football team has been really, really impactful. And, I consider them colonels for life, just like anybody else. And so we're excited about senior day. We're hoping and hope we play well, and we're hoping it's not our last time on that field maybe. It's very special what they've done and how they brought the program back to where we need to head better, but where it's heading.
Last question for me. It's this time of year. It's big, but the high school level as well. Your son's still playing with Madison Central.
How about that? He should have had a touchdown the other night.
I was going to ask you about that too, but
I had a heart attack in my room again. I was screaming so loud for him, and then boom, legal man downfield. Should have known.
Yeah, well, he looked good though. He caught the ball kind of, it's kind of a play that was drawn, I think, to be a run, and then they threw it to him. So it was a good catch by him.
Yeah, he was telling me about it last night. It's the first time I've seen him. So.
Well, talk about just how special it is this time of year. You got the holiday seasons coming up, and to still be playing football, and some of those younger guys that you guys may or may not have your eye on, but it's cool to see some of them still playing as we go throughout the end of the season.
November and December football is special. I mean, it's, the weather changes, eating, like to me, practicing on Thanksgiving Day is always a dream. I love it. I think it's great to have a team meal with your football team. And then, everybody usually will go home and have another meal. And of course you come back Friday and you can't move, but I think it's so special for Richmond to have two teams, right now, Madison Central, obviously, but our team is playing for playing games that matter in November and playing for championship football. And I just think it's very important that that happens here. And these guys deserve a crowd. We need to, like I said, we need to pack the kid out and get everybody over here to CG Bank Field and Roy Kidd Stadium. But it's just fun to me. I enjoy it. I mean, it's a grind. It's all this, that, and the other. But to have the opportunity to win a championship is special.
Coach, last question. You've talked about the implications of Saturday and what it means. With all that in mind, kind of what's been the message to the team as you go throughout this week, getting ready for a critical game on Saturday?
Well, I think, we laid out how all the scenarios work and all that good stuff. And they understand what they have to do. But bottom line is we've got a really good football team coming in here. And they'd like nothing more than to have a winning season. And so they're coming in here to take something from you. And so we have to be, prepared. We have to prepare well. It's a short week. I mean, not a short week, but it's a quick week, getting ready for the triple option and the double option and all the things that they do. We have to be prepared for that. And we have to go out and play with an intensity and a discipline to do our job. Bottom line is we got to win. If we don't win, it don't matter. So, we got to prepare the way we know how to prepare. Don't scoreboard watch and just be the best versions of ourselves.
Well, Coach talked about it being senior day, and it's kind of different nowadays. It used to be, you had all these 4-year guys that have been around the program. Obviously talking about some of the different things. So some of these guys have been around for a while. You guys, kind of being new and being a part of the team this year. Talk about just that, and this year especially, what it's like being a part of this program.
Well, for one thing, it definitely went by fast. And, I've been kind of sitting here thinking about it, about senior night, talking to my parents about it, just kind of talking about how fast things went. But, to be here and go through senior night as a Colonel, man, I think it's truly special. I haven't been here long. When I came in, I really got to know the guys. And, I developed a lot of relationships with those guys in the locker room and with the coaches. So, I think it means a lot to me to be able to walk that field on Saturday night and, call myself a Colonel and go out with these guys, the rest of the seniors.
When you look at how different of a year it's been, starting out with Coach Wells, having the episode start the year, and then, you guys have those 2 awesome games on the road against the FBS schools. Talk about the roller coaster of emotions that you guys have gone through with, starting out with maybe fan day and then just where you're at right now as you get ready to play potentially the final home game.
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster of a season. Starting out from beginning of the season with that big road win and stuff like that. But I've enjoyed every bit of it. We went through some adversity and we've definitely matured a lot as a team. over the course of this season, and you can just see it, you can feel it, and we're just trying to come in this week and prepare and get a win.
Willie, Coach talked about the challenges that Kennesaw State, the challenges that their offense brings. For you guys on defense, how does your mentality or your preparation change based on facing a team that runs an offense that you just don't see very often anymore?
Yeah, we know they do a lot of things offensively, and a lot of us guys, a lot of guys haven't played against an offense like that. And so the biggest thing is prepared, and we got to be more disciplined than ever. We got to have everybody doing their job. Communication has to be key, and we just got to dominate the line of scrimmage. We got to come out, hit them in the mouth, and control the game.
And then last question, looking back at Saturday and obviously playing a team that ran the ball a lot, what have you guys seen on film that maybe you can learn from or adjust from based on what happened at Jacksonville State?
Just tackling. We got to have guys standing in their gaps. We had a big problem with, jumping out of our gaps and stuff like that. But, the biggest thing would probably just be tackling, gang tackling. We got to fly to the ball, and, when we get there, we got to make the ball come out.
Joseph, this year you guys have had such an emotional season. Really talked about that. For you personally, has there been a moment that you'll look back on and you'll never forget?
For sure. I mean, this whole season, like you said, it's been a roller coaster. I mean, looking back, the 7-OT win at Bowling Green, that's special. I'll never forget that. And also, just for me personally, scoring my first touchdown at North Alabama, that's pretty special too.
Talk about how the crowd has been this year. The weather's been perfect, I feel like, at home games, except for the Central Arkansas game when the wind was kind of crazy. But talk about the crowds at the home games and how important it is for you guys to have that kind of crowd again this week as you come home one more time.
Absolutely. It's been great, seeing all the RVs out in the parking lot, the stands filling up, people on the hill, it's really great. And we definitely need it this weekend. It brings us that extra energy to go out there and play as hard as we can. And, I feel like that can definitely impact our game if they come out this Saturday.
I know it's still kind of early in the week, but offensively, what do you think you guys can do against Kennesaw State that can help you earn a victory Saturday?
I think we really need to run the ball this week. We kind of didn't run as well as we needed to last week, but I feel like we can, and that's something that we're going to focus on. And I think we can get done this week.
All right, good deal, man. Thank you. Good luck Saturday.
Thank you.
Joseph, this Kennesaw State defense, they've given a pretty high completion percentage this year, but 15 interceptions, which is number 2 in the country. Have you guys discussed, that style of defense and how aggressive they are in trying to go for interceptions? Have y'all kind of discussed that as you've been going through film this week?
Absolutely. But that's something we always discuss, is taking care of the ball. That's one of our main emphasis every week. And if we do that and we can win the turnover battle, we really feel like we have a great chance to win. So that comes into play every week, just taking care of football.
And then the last question, obviously you guys have 20 guys going through senior day on Saturday and a lot of guys that are going to play a lot of snaps. I know you may not know how to answer this because you haven't gone through it yet, but how do you try to handle the emotion of everything that's going to happen pregame and then try to get locked back in because you're going to have a very important game to play about 5 minutes after all that ends?
Sure. It's definitely going to be emotional, last potential home game, but at the end of the day, we know we got to win this game. So I think that'll be enough motivation factor to go out there and get done what we need to do.